get scratching.
How you're feeling about the new God of War is essentially how I felt about Resident Evil 7. Because I like the cheesy characters. I like the cheesy lines. I like all the fun that Resident Evil has. I enjoy all that stuff. And for whatever anyone says about it, I love Resident Evil 6.
Yeah, same.
And,
yeah, me too.
yeah,
I've got to admit, I don't like 5.
It's just fun.
5 is poo.
Dude, 5 you need to play with a friend. If you don't play with a friend, then it's like not worth playing.
No, even if I was playing it with someone, I think the game is poo. But 6 was just so outrageous.
Yeah,
I just love it.
But with 7, it was such a dramatic shift. And for
but the thing is, though, I don't.
Hold on. I immediately didn't care for 7 when I saw the trailers because I remember watching. I think it was like the PlayStation Experience or whatever they do in December or in the fall. And I was talking to my buddy, and he's like, "Oh, they're showing off Resident Evil." I'm like, "Okay." So I started looking at it. I'm like, "This is in first person. Is this only going to be the prologue, or is this going to be the whole game?" And the whole bit, I'm like, I don't feel like this fits within the universe. Like, I feel like it looks like a good survival horror game, but I don't necessarily see the Resident Evil aspects. And then so, I immediately was like, I'm not looking forward to Resident Evil 7 because I was expecting them to kind of do something similar to 6. So I went into 7 without really trying to remove my bias or whatever that I was previously developing. And I'm like, as a whole, I like it. I do think it has flaws. And then besides some bits in the game and how the mansion kind of works, I still don't get why they call it Resident Evil 7. But at the same time, I do like that they tried something different.
See, I've got a completely different opinion to that.
Yeah.
No, because for me, it's like, it like Resident Evil slowly went down the line of getting more action-based and like stuff like that.
Yep.
But then if you look at it, Resident Evil 7 is more similar to Resident Evil 2 and 1 than any other survival horror game out there. Even though it's first person, the way that it all works and functions mechanically is exactly the same as 1 and 2.
Yeah, like how the mansion works with the different keys.
But then,
But
then the whole first person shift, I think, was because they're not going to go back to fixed camera. Whatever they did, they won't get fixed cameras back.
Yeah.
So putting it in the first person perspective is the easiest way to make it up close and personal. So you're seeing it from. Do you know what I mean? If something's going to come out from around the corner, you're not going to be able to edge the camera to see around it. You've got to go and look around that corner yourself. The same way that the restrictive fixed cameras did that same thing back in the day, because you can only see what that camera wanted you to see.
Yeah, what they wanted you to see.
Yeah, so whereas this now, they can do the same, they did the same sort of thing. But it's you that's got to control when and how you go around that corner and see what's there.
I never looked at it like that.
Yeah, you see, that
makes sense.
That's what I took away from it. And I mean, yeah, but that's the thing. I like all the Resident Evil styles. Like, I'm really, really hoping that when they do the remake of number 2, that it's literally just a remake. Like, I want it to be fixed camera again, tank controls. Yeah, because I love tank controls. I don't know what people complain about so much. It's so easy. It's like forward makes you run forward, regardless of the camera. Like, it's kind of easy in my opinion. But maybe it's because I just grew up playing them from so young.
Right. But part of me actually wishes that it will follow Resident Evil 4 style. To see Resident Evil 2 on like a closer level, if that makes sense.
Yeah, see, that would work for me as well. They'd have to change it up a lot.
Yeah.
But,
the only reason I say this is because they say it's like they're not just upping the graphics, from what I understand.
No, yeah, they're completely remaking it.
Which is great. I'm fine if they want to do. See, those kind of games, like, they're older, and they were at a time where it's not completely modern or anything like that. Those kind of remakes could be really good.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to flesh it out and make it a bit longer because you can finish the original Resident Evil 2 like one, even though you've got 4 scenarios, which essentially makes it a longer game. But I don't think they're gonna go for that style in this time round. I think they'll have the 2 different campaigns, but I don't think they're gonna have scenario A, scenario B sort of thing like they did in the original. I think they'll just have. Oh, it'd be awesome. That's one of the things I loved about 6 because I thought to myself, this is just like Resident Evil 2. Like you've got 4 different characters that all have an intertwining story, and you see different parts of what's going on from different perspectives. Just like number 2.
You don't get that much story content, like story campaign content, outside of like an RPG. Like there was like 30, 40 hours of like story content there. And then, you go look at like a review and they're like, oh shit, because it's different and that stuff.
Yeah, the complaint that I get is the QTEs I can understand the moaning about because they was a little bit stupid in that game.
The going up the rope as Leon, that was the only one that confused me because I was like, do I hold the rope? Do I move the I was like, I don't know what I need to do with the rope. And then once you figure it out, it's fine.
But QTEs is something you can look
like
past.
A T-Rex out of 10. I remember watching it when it came out. I was on my break at work and watching a review for GameSpot. And they gave it a 4.5 out of 10. And this is why I don't do the freaking numbering system. But I'm like, 4.5.
That's why I don't like to even
10?
fucking review.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't blame you with that. But I'm like, 4.5? And there was nothing like there wasn't fundamental, there wasn't like save game issues. The game, at least when I played it at launch, it didn't crash.
Yeah,
I was
it
playing
worked.
360.
Yeah,
it was
same.
Beautiful too. Like it's funny because the demo they released, I remember playing that, and it had like a boatload of screen tearing issues, and I played through
and control issues as well.
Yeah, and they fixed all that when the game came out because I remember I was like, here it would screen tear like a shitload, and then it was fine. My only gripes with 6, they're nitpicks where it's like Leon's campaign takes a little bit to get going. Chris Redfield's is and like the rest of his campaign is awesome. And then you got Chris Redfield's. I really enjoy his because it's like a nice redemption story. And then I love crap, I forget his name. Yeah, Jake and Sherry. Like, because that was like being in a real, like, I don't know, it felt more action adventure-y than any of the other campaigns, and I loved that one. Like, it was just nuts.
Yeah, because that was...
He never played it, and he's like, I want to play 6. And I was like, do you want to play this campaign? Because I was like, this is kind of like a little bit more horror-ish. This one is a little more action-ish. And then this one's just kind of like Uncharted. And he's like, let's play that. He's like, which one's your favorite? I'm like, oh, the Jake and Sherry campaign. And it's been years since I played it, and we played it last summer, and he's like, this is outstanding. How does someone not like this? And when you're like fist fighting the guy at the end, like, it's outrageous, but it's awesome.
And that thing that chases you.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah, when you fist fight him at the end, like, and he just doesn't die. I loved that. It was so much fun.
And all of them had their own ending. That's what I loved as well. It's not that they all sort of met at the end.
Their own experiences.
Do you know what I mean? You could have sold me each one of them campaigns as a separate game and I wouldn't have complained.
And it's Capcom. They probably wanted to do that. But
yeah. Kept it on the disc, but it was DLC.
That was a weird one too, because there wasn't really like egregious DLC. I think they gave you like multiplayer things, but that's all extra. Who cares about that? All the campaign stuff, I mean, and like you said, how they interweave with each other, it was neat. Because depending on which one you chose first, everyone's going to have a different experience. Because if you play as Chris first, and then you run into Leon, you have no idea what Leon's up to. And your first experience with Resident Evil 6 is then Chris. Or if you pick Jake first and you run into, each of them, you're like, what are they doing? What's Chris doing? What's Leon doing? It was so cool playing each of the campaigns and then being like, oh, yeah, that's what they were doing here. Or, oh, I don't really get Ada here and then Ada there. And then you play the Ada campaign. You're like, oh, that fills in all the gaps.
Yeah, it literally
really
did.
Well done.
It was the Metal Gear Solid 4 of Resident Evil games.
Yes, yes, it was, with lots of cutscenes.
Yeah, and it just filled in every possible gap they possibly fucking could.
I loved it, and I love that you can play it in split screen and online.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to run through that one together.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, though, because where in 5, the multiplayer part of it just to me just seemed like a last minute decision. Like Sheva, the character, had no purpose in that game whatsoever.
I did like her. I'll admit that. Like, I did like her. I just wish they used her. You know what I mean? Like, they're weird with how they do some of their characters.
Yes, I'm indifferent when it comes to her. It's just like I'm neither here or there. Like, I don't mind her, but I'm like, if I don't ever see her in another game, I ain't gonna be bothered. But but it seemed like a really tacked on thing. But this one, like 6, they kind of made it feel like it had to be, like you had to have the multiplayer part, otherwise it just wouldn't have worked. Even if you're playing it single player, the second character didn't feel tacked on, where the story was like so interwoven and it was dependent on the two characters.
Yeah, very true. It did feel like that's initially what they wanted the whole time.
And even the new characters that they brought in.
Them.
Yeah, the new characters
are great. I like that girl. She's like voice acted by Laura Bailey. I forget her name. It was the one she was with Leon the whole time.
Yeah, I can't remember
trying to rescue your sister. Yeah, I really liked her.
Yeah, same. And even Chris's mate, the geezer he's with, because Chris was just like a miserable, like fucking arsehole for it, and he's just like, come on, mate, buck your ideas up. We've got to go fucking kill some zombies and shit. But I liked it because it was just like, instead of Chris just being this boring two-dimensional like man with biceps,
I just want to punch boulders.
Yeah.
Eat steak.
But in this, he seemed like he was troubled, and there was something up with him. And then you had this other character contrasting him.
Away.
Yeah.
Like, I like how the stories were told in a lot non-linear fashion in some of them. Like Chris's, you get the flashback. Like, I thought that was smart. And then with Jake and Sherry, you technically get a flash forward. Like, I thought that was cool, that how they told the 4 campaigns, they were all different.
Yeah, no, it was very different. But one thing that did annoy me is when they did the update and they made the Ada campaign available from the start. That makes no sense. Right away.
Yeah, you have to lock that away.
Yeah, you have to do all 3 of the other ones first before you play that. Like, if you played that first, you just like, it's kind of like a spoiler.
Yeah, no, it's a major spoiler. Like, that'll ruin the story for you.
Because when I played them literally in the order that they come in. So I think it was Leon first, Chris second, then Jake, then Ada. And to me, it seemed like, I don't know, it just seemed like that was the way it was supposed to be. And it was like the way that the story sort of chipped away. Because obviously the Leon story is the one that starts first on the timeline. Like, that was the earliest point, so it makes sense that would be the first one that you played, and then Chris was sort of later on, then Jake was even further on. But
yeah, he was kind of like a little bit back and then a little bit further.
But yeah, oh man, we do need to play that again. We need to play that again and go through it.
Nostalgia all for it, because like I really did love. I still do. I love Resident Evil 6. When that came out, I was like a huge fighter for it. Like, people would argue, they're like, "Oh, this isn't like Resident Evil." And what was great is when Gaming Brit, I think last year, came out with that video. One of my friends doesn't like Resident Evil 6, and I was like, "Look, watch this video. I didn't do a good job articulating why I love Resident Evil 6. This video pretty much says everything I love about Resident Evil 6. So I was like, just watch this.
I remember watching that as well, and I was like, oh my god, someone feels the same way as me. What is going on?
I know, yeah. Someone feels the same way as me, and he's not shouting like a Call of Duty player.
Yeah, because this is what made it even worse for me, because my cousin, who I grew up playing all these games with, I called him up and I was like, oh, Resident Evil 6, like, what do you think? And he's like, I think it's an embarrassment to the series. I was like, what? I felt like crying. I was like, no. But I've been sitting here really enjoying myself, and then you just come and break my heart like that. I was like, ah. Talking of,
why didn't he like it?
Because he just thought the same way as like everybody else did. Like everything that everybody else said, he said the same thing.
I feel like some people just kind of jump on. I'm not saying he is, but like I have talked to people where they just kind of like whatever the media says, they just kind of jump right on that.
Yeah, just for the sake of it.
Yeah, like I'm okay if you don't like something. Just tell me why you don't like it. Don't give me rehash of, oh, well, this was not a tour de force of Resident Evil 6 game. I just did not prefer it. Well, what didn't you like? Well, just read up on any IGN review. Too much water out of 10. Didn't like it. And I'd be like, you didn't like fighting a T-Rex?
Yeah, or the giant fly.
Yeah, or the fly. They're like, oh, it's outrageous. It's silly. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it's
that's
fucking
part of what
Resident
I love about
Evil.
Japanese games. Yeah, but like that franchise has silly stuff. And
Look at the first one. Look at Wesker.
Yeah, well, yes, look at his character design.
It's so ridiculous.
No one should dress like that, but he's cool.
Yeah, just the way they even talk to each other in the first one is so stupid. It's just like the better, like Barry Burton in the first game is the best character ever. Like that scene when he comes up to you and he's like, I found something. It's a weapon. It's really powerful. Then he gives you ammo. He gives you grenade rounds.
You are the master of unlocking.
we ain't gonna go over the Jill sandwich. But you know one thing that I found hilarious? Did you ever play the DS version of the game?
Yeah, that was kind of like the portable PS1 version of it.
Yeah, or like any version of the game that went on a Nintendo console. Because
I played the GameCube one and the 3DS one.
The funniest thing, yeah, is by default in any of them versions on the Nintendo is the blood is green. And then you go into that scene in the dining hall and he says, I hope it's not Chris's blood. And it's like, what, so Chris has got green blood? And it's green. How do you know it's blood if it's green?
Stars agents only bleed green.
Yeah. But that's another thing as well. Like, that just made me think when you said about the Stars agents. It's like, I like the quirky things that the original ones did. Like, did you see that ever do that thing in Resident Evil 2 when you're in the Stars office and you have to press at the head table, if you press X and like look at the table 50 times, you get the film.
No, what happens?
Well, you pick up a film because you had the dark room that you had to develop the photos. You just get an extra one and it's just some random picture of Rebecca. But you have to press it 50 times at the table to get it.
That sounds like something straight out of Metal Gear Solid. I love that.
Yeah, it's just like, but like, the developers must have thought, yeah, no one will find this.
Yeah.
Like, let's just put this there.
Stuff like that.
And just the other thing as well, in the first section of number 2, if you can manage to get all the way to the police station without using any bullets, you get Zombie Brad that has a key to a locker that you can unlock and wear cool shit.
Wait, what? I never even knew about that.
Well, you didn't know about the Brad Vickers?
No.
If you get all the way to the police station without using any ammo whatsoever, so essentially you've just got to use the knife. You see, just before you get to the station, after there's all the burning buses and stuff.
Yeah.
You have Brad Vickers, the helicopter pilot from the first game that fucks off and leaves you. He's now a zombie. And he's just walking around and he's like really hard to kill, but you've got to... Oh wait, no, I think I'm saying it wrong. No, I am saying it wrong. It's not that you don't use ammo. Well, you've got to get to the station without picking up any items or using any ammo, I think. So you can't pick up any of the bullets you find. You can't pick the shotgun up or anything like that. So you have to get to him and essentially, I think, fight him with the knife. And then when you do that, you pick up a key that he's got in his pocket, and it's in the dark room. There's like a locker, and depending on what character you are, in the locker you've got like a change of outfit. So Leon has like a leather jacket, leather trousers, and just looking like a 90s badass. I don't really remember what Claire wears.
Before he gets the beautiful hair in Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. Oh, the majestic fringe.
They should have done Resident Evil L'Oreal.